guys, so someone asked me to do an in-depth video on Trey Songz because he got arrested, he's doing questionable things, and I agreed to it because I picked up on his energy yesterday. He was freaking out yesterday about something, so I don't know what it was. I didn't keep looking into it, but he was like, it really felt like he was panicked yesterday, stressed out, overwhelmed. And so she's right, the person who asked me, or he, I'm not sure, I don't think I looked at the name, sorry, I'll look again. But yeah, so something's going on, and I guess I'm just gonna try and see what it is and then get some advice from there. So today, currently, I feel like whatever happened was resolved to some degree, so he's feeling better about it. But we're gonna look at the cards and see if I pick up on anything else, because this is just what I'm saying is when I pick up on it, it's literally the current energy, what's happening right in that moment or had happened like within hours. That's usually how I pick up on it. And then with tarot, it's more of just entertainment, so you guys have something to look at instead of looking at me. But it just helps me channel them or their guardian angels or their higher self a lot faster, and it gives me a little more context instead of using, you know, my own senses. Or I use my senses on top of what I'm seeing. Well, not seeing, but what's illustrated here. Feels like a sense of betrayal going on here between him and another person. It could be multiple people, and I'm gonna have to agree with the person who requested this video that there is some sort of financial issue or this feeling of loss. It's a feeling of loss. It's a feeling of his dreams, his future thought. Okay, I feel like he's saying, like, my dreams have been robbed from me. Everything that I had worked hard for, everything that I wanted to happen in my life, everything that I had planned out for me has been stripped away from me. I was in love with someone. I wanted this future with someone. I wanted a family with someone. I wanted this life with someone. And I'm just in shock. I'm in complete disbelief and shock that this person that I felt that I was meant to be with, that was the one for me, is not accepting me back. I am trying to take responsibility for the things that I have done, but it's not enough. It's like the damage has already been done. I've worked so hard. I've done so much, and yet, even though I acknowledge the things that have gone wrong, it's not happening. It's not working. It's everything's just getting taken away from me rather than respecting and acknowledging that I'm putting in work now. That's the thought that I'm getting from him, but I don't feel that that's the reality of things. Necessarily. It is and it isn't. The reason why is because you can have those intentions, you can put in some effort, but if it's not enough effort, in the sense that it's not enough for the other person, it's not exactly what the person wanted, or you're not putting yourself forward enough, you're just giving them a little bit, you're breadcrumbing them, then no, it's not going to work out. And so there's this part where he feels like he's given so much in the past. Like in the past, I gave so much to you, and now I don't have anything, and you're just going to hold on to what I've given to you, what I've provided for you. And now, like, what? because I'm having a hard time making a decision between things, because I'm stressed out about things that are happening in my life. Yeah, maybe I'm not fully acknowledging things that are going well in my life right now, but you have to understand, like, I'm stressed out. I'm shocked. It's like this dark cloud over his head. This dark cloud where it feels like he knows he's in a blessed position. He knows he has a lot going for him, but the things that are overwhelming him, the negative things that are overwhelming him, he doesn't feel like he has support in it. He feels like that dream that he once had, that dream that he envisioned that was in his finger, he had it, and he feels like someone was there for it when he was on top, and now that he feels like he's not necessarily where he was at that point, that they're fine without him. They're like essentially like sitting pretty somewhere else, holding on to what it is that he was a part of getting them there. And now he has to fend for himself, and it's like he doesn't have everything that he had. There's a lot that was taken from him. Emotionally, he feels like it's an emotional poverty on top of everything else. So it's like all that stress is almost just like have you ever been so stressed out that you can't even get upset? Like, you can't cry about it, like cry it off, because you're just so stressed out. You're like, I have to do something, or I'm in so much shock that I'm just functioning. I'm just functioning and not, tapping into those emotions. I feel like I have to take action somewhere, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm getting. This was at the bottom of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. Whenever the Two of Cups comes up, I feel as if it's someone, it almost feels like she's not older. I just feel like she has this more mature energy. It could be a male. I don't know. But it's someone who has a more mature energy, who's a lot more grounded than he is currently. But he comes across as someone who, he's almost childlike. And I don't mean immature. I mean in like that, okay, when I did the Chris Brown reading, Chris Brown really is like a kid at heart. Like that goofy, silly, like just like the life of the party, like really a fun person. Trey Songz comes across energetically as similar, but more of like, if you put them together as kids, like imagine them as two little babies, then Chris Brown would be like that really, really goofy one that does like just like the craziest stuff, and Trey Songz would be a part of it. But you would always, like, if you needed to find out who did something, you would go to Trey Songz and be like, okay, tell me the truth, and he would tell you. Like, he's very like sweet, but he kind of has like this, not naughty, I don't know what you would call it, like, how kids are, like, he kind of has that mischievous side to him. So that's how he comes across, as like still childlike, and just like he's a softie, and he would be the one that would like help you do things. Like, he would see that you needed help or something, and offer his assistance, even though he's like too little to really do anything. That's how he comes across. So he's very like a sweet person, very sweet. And so I think that it makes sense why it's like he's not lashing out. It doesn't seem like there might have been like some frustration here, like physical thing. I don't see him as it's like he just balls up inside. All that frustration and anger, it balls up inside until it gets to a point where it kind of like comes out and bursts. And so whatever's going on here, it's a culmination, I think that's the right word, of a lot of things that have been frustrating him over the course of, I was gonna say years, but it feels like, it almost feels like forever, to be honest with you. It feels like maybe he's never really dealt with there's some powerful females in his life, I'll say that. He has some, I see this represented as several females. This is the majority of one person, then it's his subconscious, and then it's multiple females that play a powerful role in his life. So he has a strong female presence in his life. Definitely. I feel like he never felt like he was enough. Even from a child, he never felt like he was enough. There was always this feeling that I had to be more. I had to become someone. I had to be something. And there's a part of me that I feel like I never reached it. And he's right now being really hard on himself. And he puts a lot of pressure on himself because he creates this dream that he can never reach, because if he reaches it, then he has a different dream, and then he has to reach that again instead of being confident and secure in the place that he is currently. It's like he wants to, it would be like he hears critics say things about him like he could be the next this, or he should do this. And so he aims for it and aims for it and aims for it instead of looking within himself and deciding what it is that he truly wants, what he truly is. He's a star in his own right, and maybe feeling like he was never like he wasn't complete from the beginning is now he's trying to find that completion without realizing he's been complete the whole time. And he's just, instead of embracing where he is, enjoying where he is, and seeing it truly as just an experience and just adding on to how beautiful his life is, it's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of, I'm needing more because I'm still not enough. And if he continues this path, then he truly won't be enough, because even the person that he's in disbelief about, the person that he's in shock about, that he gave so much to, is because there's a lack of understanding that they shouldn't fulfill him. They shouldn't be the source of his happiness. People are people, and you can give and give and give so much to people, and they will take and take and take. It is never, and this goes for her and it goes for him, it is never you get what you put in, like, it's not ever like that. That's a machine. A machine, you put in a certain amount of work, and that machine is going to give you the dividends back. Or a job. People are people. People have their own emotions. They can take advantage of you, or they can give you more than you give them. It has nothing to do with what you give to other people. That's why the source of your happiness, the source of completion, has to start with yourself. We can get into, I don't care personally about the stuff that he's doing online. I thought it was strange after I said it in the comment, but I didn't realize that's what he was doing until afterwards. Okay, so okay, let me finish what I was saying. So I didn't realize until afterwards that that's what he was doing. So personally, I don't care. And my personal opinion, I don't think that really changes who the person is or anything like that. I think it's kind of strange because he is super talented. But I am curious how he feels about it, and the truth of the matter is he's very overwhelmed. It's a lot of work. It's like way more than he realized, and he feels like he knows that he's not in alignment with what it is that he really wants to do. This is not his passion. This is not something that he truthfully wants to do. I think it was more of just this idea, this fantasy that he thought would be a lot easier or a lot more fun than he had realized. I think at his core, what I'm getting from everything else and what I'm feeling from the past yesterday is that he is a family man. That is actually really what he wants, and there's a particular person that he wanted, and they're not putting up with what he's doing. And that is really what's caused this indecision between them. She decided, like, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm not, I gave you enough chances. I gave you enough time. Enough is enough. It's just piling on at this point. And he's ignoring his inner compass. He's ignoring his own truth because, let's see, I would say that it's a lot more challenging to acknowledge it, and he's probably in the process right now of dissolving this project, we'll say. What's going on? The star is here twice. Look at that. So that's important. The star card's important. Ten of Cups. What I'm getting from this is that somebody, whether this is like the people that he works with, or it's people close to him, like financial advisors, or it's I don't know if he's like with a company or it's just him. It kind of looks like there's other people involved too that are working on this project, and they're giving him poor advice. They're like, they're trying to challenge him and saying, basically, like, we know what's really going to make you happy. Like, it's money, it's these women, it's whatever. I don't know what they're saying. It's probably not like, these women make you happy, but it's, everything that isn't what's within his own heart. And nobody can tell him what he needs for himself except for himself. So he's getting poor advice from these people. And that's really wise, because it's distracting him, and he's listening to them on what it is that he should be doing with his own life and with this particular job. That's causing the breakdown of everything else that he truly wants, everything that would make him happy and had made him happy. That's causing the breakdown of that. And I'm going to say that this is actually a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in essence because this is a time that he can realize for himself, what is it that's going to make me feel fulfilled within myself? Not this exterior thing, whether it's this job, this project that I'm working on, the success of my career as a singer, or this woman, or having this life. And things, because he had a lot of things. So what is it that I can feel fulfilled within myself? So everything else is going to be eliminated. And so that's a blessing in there. The only thing that's bad is if you continue on this route of not listening to yourself, if it gets too far, then, we all know it. Then you end up settling for something that you don't feel ever happy in. You end up doing things that you'll never live a life that feels full. And so he's kind of at this breaking point, this journey in his life where he has an opportunity to make that decision. I think he's still tied up with this. I'll just call it like an Instagram thing because I really don't exactly know what it is. Taz Angel type thing. Yeah, he's at a point where he's still tied up with that. I don't know how accurate this is going to be. Let's just see how he's going to feel within the next month. How are you going to feel within the next month? More truth, more travel, more passion, chasing your passion. I mean, this could be avoiding, though. I think he's going to be facing the truth of what's happened in his life with a particular person, because I do see these as separate people, and then this is him looking back on who he is. It's like he's reflecting on himself, and he's saying, you know, the truth of the matter is I want such and such out of my life, and I know that we're at a crossroads. I know that you see, it's so complicated for me. He's going to be willing to put in the work in. We'll say that. He's willing to put in the work for this particular person and things. So it's not just a person, but it's like in his life, he's going to have a couple opportunities coming to him and things that have been waiting in the wings that maybe people aren't aware of. I don't know even if he's aware of it. It's been in the talks, and he's going to be moving towards it, but there is a part of him that kind of looks back at his life and sees like he's gonna miss some of the things that he's leaving behind, but he is turning a new chapter. This is within the next month, okay? So again, I mean, free will gets pulled into this, but when I do like personal readings, I haven't been wrong so far. Luckily, I have not been wrong so far. I've done a lot of readings, so you know, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but it's almost like the battle of my conflict, my stresses, my worries. I'm addressing it. I'm addressing it one by one, and I know it's going to be a lot of work that I have to put in, but I'm making those steps to get closer to what it is that I feel I should be doing. But again, notice my wording with that is it's what I should be doing. It's not necessarily what's in my heart. Okay, well, okay, so these are all really positive, okay? But I don't feel as if he's not going to be like over the moon about things. He's going to be moving closer towards being in alignment with what it is that he wants truly out of life. I think this is going to be a little bit more in the past. He's going to be turning a new chapter and moving towards things that he does feel are important to him. He's going to be listening to his intuition more, because I do remember now that I said that he had really good intuition, and I think currently there's this point where he was so stressed out that he kind of just like not ignored it, like he recognized like what he needs to do or what he wants to do, what he should do, but then he's like, ugh, like I'm so stressed out, like I don't even know what to think anymore. And so he's going to calm down internally, like everything's just going to calm down a lot more. There's going to be a lot more stillness within him, and he's going to basically realize like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. This is what I have to do to get there. And he's going to start moving towards it. We're going to get some oracle cards for him. I'm going to get advice. Yeah. Father healing also has to do with exactly like what it's saying, like dealing with any sort of father issues that you might have had, releasing those pains. And you can see that the light within here is in the treasure chest, and this is saying like something good is happening in your life. Look, another blessed change. It's all about change. So there's positive change coming through. I am wondering if this has to do with when he's coming to this conclusion of, I need to figure out what it is that's going to make me happy and whole. It's not whole because we are whole to begin with. It's letting everything fall apart around us to realize how we've always been whole to begin with. But anyway, if this has anything to do with reaching back to his childhood, or reaching back to anything that he feels needs healing from, and through doing that, it's gonna take a lot of this heavy weight from him. It almost feels like it's this heavy weight on his chest that's been holding him down without him even realizing it for as long as it has, and has been able to dictate parts of his life that he doesn't feel particularly proud of. And I'm not saying this has anything to do with his Instagram thing. I just mean speaking in general. And so there's going to be a point within the next month that he has a talking with someone. He has a serious discussion with someone. And in doing that, he's having an even deeper discussion with himself. And he's making the proper steps that are going to bring him closer to feeling happy again. Or actually, it's happy again, but also happier for the first time. Yeah, clairvoyance. Yeah. Like he's going to be prioritizing himself more, and he's, even with the healthy lifestyle, this is advice for him, and it's advice for everyone as well if you're going through something tough. Like when you start eating better and sleeping better and working out, or just like being more active in any kind of way that you can, then having that movement within your body, it really helps you get into a better mental space. And I do see that's the recommendation for him, and that he is actually going to be doing that. He is prioritizing himself, and he's prioritizing his mental health. See how it's kind of being released back into him? I feel like it's almost like this circle is a circle going through him over and over again. And it's healing. And actually, it's kind of the color of amethyst. And I want to say amethyst has to do with emotional healing as well, emotional balance. The advice that I get with this card is that this goes for everyone. So this is advice for anyone that is dealing with any sort of separation with another person or any struggles in your life. Your guardian angels and all the other angels above and above, they respect our free will to make the decisions in our life that we decide to do. Some things are divinely guided. I could go on and on about that kind of stuff, but let's just keep it simple and say they will never step in things in your life that aren't divinely guided, that you are completely in control of, right? Don't ever feel like you can't ask for guidance. You can't ask for help. Even if you're going through a struggle, you can say, like, please help me relieve this stress. Help me get through this. Help, whatever. Just ask for help or declare the pain over. And they will do their best to step in and help you. This is acknowledgement that he is going through some sort of separation that is causing a lot of internal turmoil. It's a need for peace. It's a need for hearing them. For hearing the guidance that is coming in. And again, I see that he is going to be doing that, but I think this is just, maybe this is a reminder for all of us that if we take the time to quiet our minds and, in a sense, eliminate things that don't really serve us will be able to hear the messages better rather than finding distractions. Because our emotions, you know, if we're going through a tough time, our feelings alone, our own mind is already enough of a distraction. Don't use external factors to complicate things even more. And it's a need to be more selfish, and that doesn't mean it's not in a bad way. You have to care for yourself, because when you are following what's in your heart, that allows the space for everybody else to follow what they want. It's a process of being the example, not showing people what to do or telling people what to do. It's living the example for people to be inspired by. And I do feel that the issue, it's not an issue, it's something that had to happen in order to get to the point of even realizing this, right? But what happened that brought him to this point was that he was giving himself to these circumstances and people without him. He's such a giver. He gives and gives and gives, and people aren't giving back to him the same way that he gives to other people. And it's left him sad and alone and empty without realizing. I'm not going to say without realizing, because he does know. This is just confirmation that he's never alone. His guardian angels are always with him. This is just a big, powerful lesson in his life to understand. And he is going to get through it. And these parts of his life are breaking away so that he can get to the core of who he is, so that he can see that he's been whole. It's just all of this stuff was not fulfilling for him. This was just a lesson for him. I also feel like there's a part of him that feels like ashamed or like guilty, like he almost doesn't feel worthy of grace. Because, again, it's not this incident, it's everything. It's things that have happened that he feels like ashamed. Like, how did I, like, because he is so intuitive that it's almost like, I knew all of this. I've been doing all this. Like, now I feel like I've taken so many step backs. And that's not true. I mean, this is a process. That's how it works sometimes, you know? It's not like when you walk your divine path, it's not like someone's just straight and narrow. Like, it's not like that. Like, you have to go places that you feel like, maybe when you feel like you're like, I wish that never happened. But what did you learn from that? You know, like, more than likely, like 99% of the time, that was supposed to happen. It's only within those couple things that you can control if you're aware of it, or if you're not aware of it. I don't know. I'm just getting too much into it. Even people who are in your life, Trey, that are resistant to this change, that also need healing, if you just give your worries to the guardian angels, to Mother Mary, this is a Mother Mary deck, give this to them and they will assist, they will help along the way. As he already knows. He knows this. He's very in tune spiritually. He's like, he was probably a pastor in his past life, honestly. Like, I'm gonna, hold on. Let's just do this for fun. Also, I mean, I think he was a really spiritual guy in his past life. Very masculine in his past life. Also, what was I gonna say about him? The arts. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank God this card came out. Okay, so if this is for everybody, but this is for him in particular. So the advice also is, if you're hearing music, a certain lyric or songs that keep coming and coming over and over again, that's them speaking to you. They want to come through in a song. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Wars and battles. Something in this past life is definitely carried through. Definitely with the arts. You look at this even with the finances. Well, I feel like even with the karmic relationship, there was a lot of fighting in his past life. Some sort of fighting, and the persecution, I think, is even for speaking out about something, for just doing something, the right thing. He did the right thing. He felt was the right thing and was the right thing, and in turn, that actually created a situation that didn't end well. Like, it feels like he was constantly being accused. He was constantly being accused of something that... I'm going to pull from here. Yeah. You're probably like, I did not ask for this. What are you doing? Okay, so in his past life, I feel so interesting. The same thing. This is the same thing that's happening in his current life. In a way. It's repeating. It's repeating. So you... Oh, this is intense. Okay, listen. Just listen to this, and then you guys can take what you want from this. But this is for everybody. When you bring in your past life karma, that's what I mean when I think I said it. I don't know if I was going to edit it out or not. I think I was going to edit it out because I was getting a little too much into this, and now I did, so whatever. So karmically, yes, you have to pay for some of the things that you've done. It makes sense, right? And it's not like in a bad way. It's just the natural law of things. It's like if you drop something, it's gonna fall. So that is, in essence, karma. I could get into it. It would take hours for me to really do it, but if this is something you guys really want to know and is interested in, which I think it actually is super important. But anyway, sorry. Okay, so his past life, this goes for everyone, but I'm just going to talk about him so it makes more sense for people who don't know, or whatever, is he's going through all of this because of his past life karma, because of all of the karmic debt that's being paid off in this lifetime. And through him experiencing it again, he's learning the lessons that he needed to learn from what he did in his past life. And this is a turning point in the next couple months, okay? I actually see in the next 5 years. And that's really when everything's going to be fully eliminated from his life, from his past lives with an S. And he's gonna really start fresh. He's at the point now, and this goes for the rest of his life from the beginning too, where obviously like he's tacking on new experiences and erasing some of it, but it's fully gonna be released in 5 years. This next month is crucial because the majority of it is falling away in the next several months. I would say 1 to 3 months. The issue that he had in his past life, this is his most recent life that I'm talking about. I still believe that he was some sort of pastor or something like that, but that's not what came through. What comes through is that he has again been self-sacrificing. He's given himself to other people more than he gave to his own self. And he knew internally, like he knew within himself that something was missing, you know? Like, he wanted to be, it's a part of him that, you know, it's missing, so he wanted to be commemorated by other people for the good deeds that he did, which he deserves, but it was also a part where he was trying to fulfill something within him that was missing, that feeling that was missing in him. And the past, someone in his past, the things that have happened in his past with other people ended up catching up to him, and they took him for everything that he was worth. They took everything from him, and he was focused on the loss that he didn't appreciate what was waiting for him, all the good things left, because he had placed his happiness in other things. How people treated him because of the things that he gave, how people treated him because who he was, things like that. And he felt like he had to hide that sadness. He felt like he had to hide and run away from his feelings because he was afraid that they would see this side of him that he didn't feel was worthy. He didn't feel like expressing his own needs would cause people to leave him, because they weren't people that should have been with him to begin with. They will leave you regardless of if you give them anything or not, because that's who they are. They're greedy people. That's why. They're not good people, or they might be good people, but they're not in alignment with you. You know? Like, if people who feel like they don't have any friends, it's because those people that are around you, they're just not in alignment with you. They're not. So yeah, there are other people out there, but it might take a very long time to find them. It might be a select couple people, but you can honor that side of you and say, yeah, I don't have people in my life. I don't have this in my life because I haven't found anyone to match me. That's perfectly fine. People will meet you exactly where you are. You know, the right people will. And so that's something that he's learning in this life. This is all, everything he's gone through right now. It's a decision that he made, and it's something that had to have been done. So it's a little bit of both, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, I'm having to go through this in order to learn these lessons, because at a soul level, you want to evolve. You want to learn these lessons so that you can evolve and go back to God, essentially. So, hope that answered some questions for you guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.